shareholder confidence and corporate governance as we arrive at the first anniversary of the signing of the Sarbanes-Oxley Act. Capital markets intelligence firms Brendan Wood International out with its second quarter shareholder confidence survey. Survey evaluates shareholder confidence in an estimated 550 of the world's largest companies, accounting for about 75% of the world's stock trading. Companies' management measured by 24 public knowledge criteria, making the survey a real voice for shareholders. So what the company topped the list? Joining us from Midtown, Brendan Wood.
How are you, Mark?
Good morning, Brendan. Chairman of Brendan Wood International. And at the top of the list, the survey says Walmart.
Well, it's no surprise. Walmart meets all the tests.
It gives people good products at a good price and with good services. Is that really what it boils down to?
Walmart's tops in two categories, Mark. First, it's a top investor confidence choice overall. That means investors are excited about its future growth. They feel very comfortable with management. They think that Walmart has a board that is protective of shareholder interests. They like the quote-unquote relentless growth agenda of Walmart, and that's a common theme in the data this quarter. Investors are very hungry for growth, and Walmart is proving itself up to that task. You also, in the second category they win in is governance, and that is a function of confidence in the board, confidence in the management of the company, and feeling amongst investors that shareholder interests are well protected by Walmart, and they're proactive in that regard.
Now, you had a short-term list too. I'm looking at here, and Intuit is at the top of that list.
Yeah, the short-term list is, sometimes you get a correlation short and long. The short-term list is more stock play orientated. It's less of a long-term think.
Okay, and that's why...
Well, there's a couple of Russian oil companies.
Names I've never heard of. Yukos is a Russian oil company.
Correct. Yeah, there are two Russian oil companies on that list, largely for that reason. It's seen as a timely investment play, and obviously to be on that list, they must meet fairly stringent tests of shareholder confidence. So Yukos in particular is demonstrating commitment to protect shareholder interests.
Mr. Wood, this is David Beard. Have you tracked the performance of the stocks at the top of the list or the bottom of the list over some time frame?
We're studying it now. I mean, the coincidence is very high. Obviously, some of our clients are working with it, using a variety of metrics to extract value from it in terms of its relevance to investment decision making. It's pretty consistent. Stocks like Anthem and WellPoint have been excellent performers, and in both the marketplace and in our work.
Because you'd think you'd want to look for companies that are moving within the list, not just statically at the top or the bottom.
Yeah, I think the good news, David, the good news about this quarter's results is that confidence levels are up substantially. And interestingly enough, financial stocks are at the head of the list, and quite a number of them, from Great West to Bear Stearns, Bank of America coming up the list, and Morgan Stanley, Goldman Sachs, substantial increases in the level of confidence towards financial stocks.
What's your impression of how far we've come in terms of reforming corporate governance?
Well, it's an interesting question, Mark. There's a lot of empty ritual out there right now, but this is the first time we've really seen shareholders expressing high levels of frustration and bordering in some cases on outrage. There's a fundamental dysfunction in the marketplace, namely that shareholders really do not elect directors. And the gap there, the directors are largely unknown to shareholders. It's quite a disconnect in the marketplace, and there's a lot of empty ritual around the issue, but I'd say the awareness level is way up, and we're hearing a lot more from investors, so we're expecting to see more proactivity amongst investors in the 2 quarters ahead.
All right, sir. Thank you very much for sharing what you learned.
My pleasure.
Brendan Wood is chairman of Brendan Wood International.